So what is your name and where are you from?
Yes, so my name's Lee, and I'm from England in the United Kingdom. And I live in Southwest.
Excellent. How did you originally hear about my lessons?
Um, do you know what? I'm not sure. So I was googling piano tutorials, and you popped up on a YouTube video,
YouTube.
and that's how I found the link to your
That's everyone
website.
else. Yeah. I'm so grateful for YouTube. That's kind of my only way that people find me. What do you like most about learning from my method?
um, it's definitely your method of laying it out on that
The
on
tablature. Yeah.
your tablature. Yeah, definitely. It just makes it very easy. But then your step-by-step guide of doing it, and you do it in chunks with that tablature, and I just find it is easy to pick up. But you just focus on those chunks, and when you put them together, it just is amazing how quickly you can put a song together.
Yeah, Lee, and it's so simple, but I'm glad everyone's saying that, but I want everyone watching this to listen to that because you guys are wise because you're doing it. You're having success. You're still playing after 3 years here on the site. Is taking it in chunks, not only in the song you're learning, but overall, every day, not expecting too much from yourself. And the reason I do it that way, I think is because of I taught 20 years before I ever, no, people don't usually know this. I taught 20 years of just private lessons, 50 students a week for 20 years. And you learn a thing or two about people and what's going to work for them in the lessons and what's not going to work. In fact, that's why I developed this system during that time to help people who couldn't read music, and I did everything I could to help them read music. They were going to quit. They hated it. And then I tried this and let them play the songs they wanted. I would transcribe it during their lesson, write it out, and they loved it and it worked. So everything I do in the video lessons is from those 20 years of experience with all those guinea pigs, I call them, that I had that helped me become a good teacher. So I owe everything to them for that. Lee, what do you think about the library of songs? When you click on Song Library and you see, it's 18 years of content there. What's your thoughts about what's in the video library?
I mean, it is a huge volume. I mean, to scroll through is a lot. Um, yeah, just try and think of tracks you like and just start typing them in because a lot of them are there. A lot of them there, definitely.
And I have to give credit there to all of the members who have done the hired requests over the years because I didn't choose what's in there. The hired request list, all the members will find things that they want me to teach. And they've already probably searched trying to find a lesson for a certain thing and they couldn't find it or it wasn't a good lesson. And so everything on there is already unique, live versions that you won't get anywhere else. And
Yeah.
just people from all around the world have different tastes, but you guys have really good taste. And if I were just picking it myself, it wouldn't be near as good as it is the way it is now. So that's credit to all the members. What makes my lessons different than other online piano lessons?
I think it's that connection piece. Do you know what? It's not robotic. It's not machine like. It's explanatory or something like that. So it's visual. You've got that tablature, and then
Mhm.
your explanation to it. You're talking through. I think that's what kind of breaks the difference because you even pause and say, "Do you know what? This bit's tricky. Stop. Do this. It might take you a week,
Right.
but stick on that before you move on." I think it's those things that make the difference. Yeah.
Yes, and I have to tell you, I really feel at home when I'm teaching lessons, and I really feel like someone's right here learning, and so it's kind of not like a struggle. I really I feel the connection across the camera into your living rooms on your iPads and everything. Whenever
Yeah.
you guys are learning, I
But
really do feel
but but I
that.
think a
This
lot of people feel like that. I mentioned it on a comment on reviews, and it's almost like you come around my house every week to do a piano lesson because I feel like I know you a bit. It's very
you do.
it's very weird. It's yeah, it's
Yeah,
strange.
if you've watched my lessons, you know me. There's not much to me, and if you watch my lessons, you know me. I'm a family guy, and
Yeah.
just love music, and there's not much there. And now I'm getting to know you guys. It's fun. So we're friends now. So beginning to
Yeah.
meet. And I want to tell you, anytime you need any help or anything, we can do a little Zoom here. Doesn't have to be a testimonial thing or anything, but if you need some help getting unstuck, I'm really trying to reach out to members and help them when they get into trouble with something or just need
Yeah.
a little encouragement. Sometimes we need that. And so I'm happy to do that for you.
That's great.
Um, on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with my lessons?
Oh, oh. It's got to be a 10. I mean, well, I wouldn't be, I've become a lifetime member on the site as well already, and that's in 3 years, and that's the value of it. I think it's just, I can see myself, I connect with it, I can understand it, and it just, yeah.
Well, thank
Honestly,
you.
to anyone watching this, I'll just say you will not believe what you could be playing in probably, a few months.
Yeah. Thank you, Lee. And I want to say this before I forget. If you have any recordings of yourself playing, I would love to see
Okay.
that. That really encourages me because I need that too as a teacher. If
Yeah.
you have, and I promise not to show it to anybody if you don't want me to, but would love to see what you're working on, what you're playing. If you would you, Evan, could you move that so I can? Okay. Would you recommend a family member or friend to my website, and if so, why?
Well, yeah, I would because yeah, I mean, if you're really serious about learning piano, and I think you've got to be serious about it because you've got to put a chunk of time into it. You can't just,
Yeah.
you can't say, oh well, I'm not playing the song in 2 days and
Mhm.
give up because it's never going to work like that. But
Right.
if you're deadly serious about it and you want to, give piano a go and learn some tunes that you enjoy. Because I think the fun about piano is if you're there doing scales all day or something like I learned when, keyboards, it's
Sure.
not much fun. But if you can just play some easy tunes that you recognize and that other people recognize, I think it speeds up your learning. And like I said, that connection with you of how you teach it is, yeah,
It does. Great
brilliant.
advice, Lee. And I can tell you're just a happy guy and you love music and you're loving life. And I'm glad to be a small part of it. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Now, I want to, this last part is something I've kind of added here. Is there anything you would like to ask me or anything I can do for you today or anything that you would like to see on the site me do differently? Because I'm trying to get better. I know you gave me a 10, but I'm going to, I
Yeah,
always
yeah.
give myself a 9 point something because I want to continue to get better as a teacher and I want to make the website better. I know there's some things I could do better. What would you, in that vein, what would you say?
So things to improve. I think on some of your videos, you teach a big section, but you don't necessarily play a huge paragraph back all in one go. I think I don't know if it was in your later lessons you started to do that more, but some of them, and it's always nice to hear how it's supposed to sound in
You
it
are
in
right.
its joined up piece. So just that probably 20 seconds of, oh, this is how it sounds like when you play it,
You are
because
right. Lee, I want to tell you why I didn't play because I think that too, but there's a fine line between teaching and then doing a cover. Because if I do a cover, then I begin to infringe on copyright things. If I'm a performance, so I've
yeah,
always worried about doing too much to where get to the performance area and then I get into trouble. So, but you're right. I could play more, and I'm starting to do that now. And not the whole song, but
no,
you're right. I didn't typically play as much of the chunks
yeah,
together as I would have desired, and I would have done that differently if I could go back. But you're right. I agree with you. But I am starting to think about maybe playing the songs all the way through, beginning to end, and just putting on that on YouTube. That way, the record companies can get their cut of it, and then just linking it to the
okay,
site. So I am thinking
yeah.
about that. But that's a great suggestion. Uh, any questions you have for me personally, or anything I can
Um,
do for you today?
well, it's kind of two things yeah, two things I'm interested in about you. I was just wondering
Okay.
how did you learn piano? What's your
Oh,
background? Are
great.
you classically trained or what's?
Yes, Lee, I started I have the gift of perfect pitch. It's not perfect. I hate that name for it. But I had that just growing up. If I hear anything, I know what all the notes are without even having to go to the piano or figure it out. I just know somehow.
And you can
And
almost do it like
yeah,
within
even as a child, before I ever
amazing.
took piano lessons, before I knew what the notes were, I in my head they were already my friends, and I knew which each one of them were. And so that was a tremendous help to me then and now. It's nothing I didn't work to get that. It's just something I've always had been gifted with. So that I give God credit for that. But going up that, I did classical lessons and I did the scales and everything the way you did, and I went to University of North Texas, and my teacher was a his teacher, his teacher's teacher was Bartok. So actually come from the classical line of Bach, Beethoven, and
Okay, yeah,
Bartok
yeah.
down the line, and then my teachers. And he was really, really tough and strict and yelled a lot. So I guess that's where that comes from. But I did the classical all the way. In fact, before I stopped, uh, the classical music training, I was studying to be a part of the Van Cliburn International Piano Competition, which is in Dallas, one of the most prestigious classical piano competitions you can have. I had no really hope of winning it, but I was good enough to be in it, which is really, really pretty good. And I just decided, I hate this. I hate the competitiveness and trying to be better than the next person, and just the stress. It was tremendous amount of pressure at performing at this high peak level all the time, never having a down day, and I just said I hate it, and I quit, playing everything. And then in my 30s, my wife started getting me into rock music. Now, I never heard any rock music. In fact, I went to my brother and I was like, "You'll never believe this song I just heard. It's amazing." And of course, that's Stairway to Heaven. And he was laughing and goes, "Shawn, please tell me that you're joking, that you've heard that song before, right?" And I was, "No, I haven't heard it." So I've been educated, at that point. I kind of did the reverse of everyone else. So I did the classical music thing first, but all those years of classical training have really given me insight into technique, into learning how to learn how the brain works, and to helping and giving people just a little bit instead of dumping a tremendous of classical, things on them, and all these duties of scales and arpeggios and practice and finger exercises for hours. I can give you a little bit here and there, and that's enough to play this stuff that you want to play. So that has really helped me in what I'm doing today, because I don't think I would do it over again because it was so difficult. But I love that classical background that I have that helps me help you guys. And everybody out there who's had kind of a classical note reading thing, don't feel like you're a failure. That's going to help you when you go to my lessons and try this new tablature style. But that's how I learned,
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, and just the other thing I was going to say was, something I struggle with is not all of them, but some guitar riffs. So when you're trying to do a guitar piece on piano,
Okay. Right.
Now it's strange because some I can do and it just comes, but
Sure.
I find some really tricky, and I don't know how to get over that kind of making a guitar riff on a
those
on a
can be
piano.
tricky. Like, can you think of a particular song?
I can't do. So there was so one that I know I can do was Bad Moon Rising,
Okay, sure,
which
sure.
is and that one was that's right,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I'll
And
tell you
see,
what. Let me give you a little tip here, because we're going to run out of time. Zoom's going to cut me off because I only have the free version. When do you have a set of bongo drums?
no, but okay, yeah, I know.
I would, if you have the means to, I would invest in a mediocre bongos, with just the two drums on it. Turn on the song that you want to learn the guitar part for. Turn it up really loud and just start drumming with it, like over and over the song, and just drum with it. And you're hearing the bass, you're hearing the drums, you're hearing the guitar, you're hearing everything. And then after you do that long enough, then go to the piano and then try. I bet that will really help you, because sometimes it takes pulling from the drum part a little bit, pulling from the bass line just a little bit as far as the rhythms go, to make it fit on piano. Because sometimes even if you're playing and you're covering the guitar strumming, you may not be covering the band sound, and that's what's missing. Is that maybe a kick drum or a snare beat or something in there. So that's my recommendation there. Is just get on those bongos, because it's a rhythm thing, it's not a note thing. And the bongos really free you up from thinking about any notes, and you're just having fun getting rhythms, and those rhythms are being plugged into your brain. And then when you go to the piano to play the chords, it's like, whoa, I can do it now. Yeah. Eureka.
I'll try that.
Well, Lee,
Good
it's
stuff.
been great meeting you. I've loved you. Get a hold of me anytime you need me. I'm available, email or this. We can do this. If you're ever in Waco, I'm serious about this. If you ever come here, we're a tourist town now with Magnolia and the Fixer Upper show that's in America. But if you ever are over here, please look me up. It would be cool to get a cup of coffee or even come here and jam a little bit. I'd love to have you sitting in my chair here for the podcast, because we're starting to do podcast stuff, and you got some really great comments that would be neat to delve into. Thank you, Lee, so much.
No, I appreciate your time, and it's been good talking to you.
All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Take
Lee, how are you,
Oh,
sir?
hi, how you doing? Yeah, good, thanks. Good.
Good. Oh,
Good.
thank you for enduring today. My iPad just was not working. I thought I would try it, and it was just, yeah, this
That's
is
all right.
much better. Thank you for
Yeah.
meeting with me.
No, thank you. Thank you. It's good.
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 Yes. And if you wouldn't mind putting your phone in landscape mode, if you, can you do that?
Okay.
And just
Uh,
where it's
uh, yeah, does that
going to work
work?
better for the videographers.
Let me
There you
try and get
go.
a
Yeah,
decent
take a second.
place.
No rush. No rush. We got plenty of time.
Uh, Probably should have gone to my piano, to be honest. That would have been a better. See if we can get that going.
Sorry about
There
that.
we
If
go.
you do it in portrait, then it cuts off your face whenever we
All right. Yeah.
edit it. Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Nearly there.
Let's see.
Okay. Just find something to hold the phone up. There we go.
Wonderful. That's good.
There we
That's
go.
good
Does
to
that
hear you
work?
sitting down or
Not,
something.
not quite. Yeah.
Good.
There we go.
Well,
Good
Lee, it's
stuff.
great to meet you, sir. How long have you been with my lessons? How long have you been on the website and everything?
Do you know, I was thinking about this. I think it's about coming on 3 years, I think.
3 years. Okay, that's great.
Yeah, 3 years. So probably quite new. You've been going a while, haven't you?
Yeah, that's actually 3 years. Most people would say they're thrilled that someone stayed on a website for 3 years, but I've had, which I am for you, but I've had people 10 years, 15 years, 17 years. The average has been around 10 or 11 years, if you can believe it. These testimonials I've been doing. So I'm really thrilled that everyone has been sticking around that long. I didn't even realize that till I started doing these testimonials. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm glad you've been here for three. What was your story growing up in music? Like, what city are you from? Where are you located?
Yeah, so I'm in the southwest of the UK.
Okay,
So I live in a place called Weston-super-Mare. It's near Bristol, so it's the southwest. So I live on the coast. So
okay.
yeah, quite a nice part of England.
It's really
Um,
yeah.
so I've
So I was wanting to know your story growing up. Did you take traditional piano lessons with the music books? Did you play guitar? Were you listening to music that you wanted to play but you couldn't in the lessons? What was your story growing up with music?
so I was always a keyboard player. So when I was a kid, my parents took me to keyboard lessons from the age of about, I don't know, 6 or 7, and I played keyboard, and I played it pretty well, and I did all the grades. There's a in the UK is a the London College of Music
Yeah,
is the yeah, it's the kind of school that you do the theory tests and all that,
I've
and
heard
I
of
and I
this.
worked way through those, and yeah, I got to probably quite a good level, but it was kind of simplistic because in the left hand I just did chords, and the keyboard would take over beats and all that kind
Sure.
of thing. And so I never really played piano. And then probably when I got to my 20s, I kind of, just fizzled out, and families kick in and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I stopped doing it. And what happened was when COVID hit and we're all just trapped inside,
Uh-huh.
I I got myself a piano. and it and it just came back to me straight
Yes.
away. And I was looking for, and I didn't want to do all the, I can read music, but not fluent enough to like read a piano piece straight off.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, I'll find, websites and stuff that would just teach you tunes. I just wanted to play popular tunes kind of thing. And yeah, stumbled across yours as well. And yeah, the rest is history. And now I'm playing like Elton John's and
Oh, awesome.
yeah, it's
Lee, so I
great
want to
stuff.
encourage everyone out there because you had the guts to go back and try it again, and you said it all came back to you, and it does. It's in there somewhere. If you had music when you were younger, and I just want you because a lot of people are going to watch this, and I want to use your story as kind of an example that it does come back to you. So don't be afraid that you've lost everything and you're going to have to start over. You kind of do have to start over right at first, but if you
Yeah,
did some things when you were younger, it will come back to you, and it is in there somewhere in your
yeah.
brain.
And
So,
do you know what? Another funny story. I bought myself a piano, and I bought myself a cheap kind of beginner's piano.
what did you get?
And within 12 months, I bought myself 4 pianos because I rattled through it so quickly in
Okay.
12 months. I just outgrew each
Wow.
piano.
So you were
Yeah,
getting better
until I had to
quickly.
buy a pretty decent one. Yeah. So yeah, that was it. And then yeah, it's
So
great.
the four pianos was getting you needed better instruments because you were playing better, and so you said, I need something better. I need something better.
That's right. Yeah, because the cheaper ones obviously they stumble at, you know, when you play over 6 notes or something like that. You know,
Sure.
it starts to it has a limit to what it can do. And you know, first ones were like just a portable to try it out, and then I bought a fixed one, and then yeah, and I've got a pretty serious piano now. It's quite nice.
So what do you
Yeah.
have now? What is your serious piano? What is that?
It's a Yamaha. I think it's the oh, is it YDF or I can't think what it is now. It's a 700 series, so it's a yeah,
Okay.
it's a nice
Yeah, yeah.
upright
The
yeah
one
black
everybody
piano. Yeah,
gets. Uh-huh.
yeah, it
Everybody
is.
gets
Yeah,
now.
popular one. Yeah, yeah, decent.
Yeah, it's
Sort
very
of
good.
mid range, mid to high range. Yeah, good.
Great. So yeah, I always recommend that to people. They always ask me what kind of keyboard or piano to get, and I always say, well, it's good to go ahead and get the 88 keys and go ahead and get the weighted keys, so it's not like a,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
if yours
yeah,
is weighted or not, but
completely. Yeah,
are your keys weighted on your piano?
yeah. It's fully weighted now. It's got the real feel. It's a
Good, yeah,
really
because you can always
good
go from
mechanism
that to a
behind it.
keyboard that's like an organ feel, but it's really difficult if you only play on those, organ kind of actions to go to a piano or a keyboard, because then it's hard to go that direction. But it's always easier if you
Well,
play on weighted keys to go to something easier if you ever
yeah,
have
well,
to.
it's funny. I've still got my keyboard. I've still got my keyboard. And going back
Yeah,
to that, I can still do it, but it just feels very strange that the
yeah,
keyboard kind of, yeah, electronic keyboard.
yeah. It's a better
But
workout with
yeah,
weighted
it's
keys. So what are you?
much
Tell
better.
me your
Yeah.
progress when you started on the site. What was the first thing you did? Because you probably started with something easier, and then kind of take me through that process. And then what are you playing now?
So I started at kind of probably yeah, just so I was kind of looking up the easy ones. So probably
Okay,
level two was probably
okay,
the ones to, and then just playing kind of simple tunes. But yeah, I mean, my story is I went quite fast, you know, just because of my history, it really does come back to you quickly. I
yeah,
went through those fast. And then before I knew it, I never imagined I could play like, you know, I Don't Like Mondays by Boomtown Rats or Elton John, Rocket Man or anything like that. I
uh-huh.
wouldn't have even thought about it. But
Yeah.
once you tried it, and I just, yeah, just picked
And
it up.
Werewolves of
But what's,
London, Werewolves of London is
yes,
huge for not so much in the
yeah.
U.S., but all of my UK people are just love that one. They just go nuts over that one. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, but it's really strange because I still stumble at some.
Yeah,
So you know, so
everyone
Elton
does.
John, Crocodile Rock. You know the,
Oh, you're playing that one. Yes,
and
that's not an easy one.
I just really struggle with it. I really struggle with that one.
Yeah, the rhythm probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just find it really difficult. It's probably the speed and rhythm together. So that's what trips me up. Yeah,
Yes, I will. I can probably guess what you're doing. You're probably playing it as fast as it's supposed to go, and then stopping, and then fast, and then stopping, and then stopping. If you'll slow down the tempo to where you don't have to stop, it's going to feel really slow, but play it at a speed where you don't have any pauses. Don't let yourself play it any faster. Stay slow. You're going to have to take real control and real effort to not go fast, but play it at that slower tempo where you don't have to stop. And then you play a little faster the next day, a little faster the next day. Then it all gets faster together. And then you don't have those pauses in there anymore. Because what happens is you try to go da 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 da, and you wait da 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 da. So you'll play a section of it the speed you know it's supposed to go, then you always stop. So what's happening is you're reinforcing the stop, you're reinforcing the pause, so it's never going to leave unless you do something else. So that's my recommendation on that. And I don't really know the specifics, but I'm probably that's probably what's happening to you on
yeah.
that one. Just
You're
a little
probably right.
advice.
And do you know what I think with anyone that wants to play piano, it's a patience thing because
Yeah.
people want to play tunes, and
Yes.
you can't play tunes straight away. You just need to yeah get a bit of rhythm and a understanding behind it. I think.
So is Crocodile Rock kind of the farthest you've gone as far as difficulty level? Because that one's difficult. Have you played anything else on that level?
It is, but then if you take Rocket Man, it's on the same level.
Okay, sure.
But I do that no problem at all.
Yeah.
But it's because it's a different pace, I think, and it's not so
Yeah,
rhythmically
the rhythm.
intense
That's
kind of thing.
right. Rhythm will get you. Yeah. But if right,
Yeah,
so that's why I recommended that because that's probably what's happening to you on that. But that's amazing that you've. But I want everyone to hear that's watching this that you started with the easier stuff. Don't jump in and just pick a song because it's your favorite song. You have to pick something on a level that
Yeah,
you can handle and then get better. That's why most
yeah.
people quit, is they just kind of jump ahead to something too difficult. So you're doing it right. That's why I'm pointing that out. So
And I've also done tracks that I've stopped on because I'm not it's not coming to me, and I've stopped, and then I've spent a few more months doing other things, come back
uh,
to it, and then suddenly I can pick that up.
Lee, are you a so you've learned how to read music, so you can read music. Maybe you don't feel like you're good at it, but you can do it if you have to.
Yeah.
How did you feel about my tablature system when you first saw it with the letters on the board? Was it really weird? It took a while, or did it immediately click for you? What was the process there?
Yeah, it's well, first of all, I really like it because it just makes it's really simple. I can see it very quickly, quicker
Mhm.
than I can read music as well. But yeah, I guess you've got to spend a bit of time, probably 5 or 10 minutes, doing your first one with you, and
Yeah,
then you think, oh, I've got that now. And then, but what I really like is because you can segment between, a right hand note and a left hand note because that different pace, and you can see where they fit in. So as you speed up, the
sure.
rhythm really kicks in. But it's really, I really like it. In fact, I've done, saved a couple, printed a couple,
Yeah.
because it's almost like a different kind of sheet music that just is easy to read.
Yeah, and I love that you say it's easier. Some people would say, people that are really good at reading music really resist, when they first see the tablature system. But then I have a lot of music readers who do it, who use that my system as well. But for some
Yeah,
people who've had trouble reading music, and it has nothing to do with how smart you are, it has nothing to do with how musically talented you are, reading music. In fact, a lot of the poor music readers or sight readers are that way because their ear is so good, is that they use their ear instead of the sight reading, and they never really learn how to read because they're using their ear instead, and
yeah,
that seems to be what happens. So when you get to this tablature system, then you get to use your ear and you get to just see what the notes are instead of having to read them. And yeah, so as you're going through these songs, and so you've played some pretty advanced ones, I would say. Crocodile Rock is up there. Is there a song on the website that you would think I'd love to learn to play that one day, but I'm not quite ready? Is there one like that's your big hit song that you would like to go for?
um, yeah. There's I noticed there's November Rain by Guns N' Roses,
Uh-huh.
which is quite an epic kind of
Linky,
track.
yes, it
A
is.
lot going on in that. It might not be so complicated. It's just the amount of stuff going on and
It's
the
all.
mixture of both hands.
You're
So I
right.
would like to do November Rain. I'd like to do. I found Tiny Dancer by Elton John
Oh,
difficult as
sure.
well.
Yeah, love
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it. That's so beautiful.
But I
Lee,
found
have
that
you seen
really
that
difficult.
movie?
But
Have you seen the movie Almost Famous?
no, I don't think so.
You
Which
should look that
was
movie up. Not many people know about it, but you would love it, I think. And it's Tiny Dancer is featured in that movie, but it's a great movie. Look it up. It's called Almost Famous.
okay. We'll
It's
do.
great. Yeah, and you would just love it, I think. And Lee, do
Uh,
you play out anywhere? Do you play at little wine bars or anything? Do you ever do that?
Um, So there's around, we have places with just local pianos. So you might find a piano in a shopping centre, for example, or there's a nice cafe near me that's got a piano in it, and it's amazing how you can just say, "Oh, do you mind if I have a quick go on the piano?" And they say, "Oh, well, if you can play, that's all right." And you can really impress quite quickly. I wish I had more of a singing voice. That's the
Yeah. You know what? I'd say just sing. A lot of people are afraid of. No one likes their own voice. I'm telling you. And a lot of us can sing better than we think we can. And I would say, go for it
Just go
in
for
your
it.
singing. But I love that you're not afraid to play for people because that's really fun to do. And I'm finding out a lot of the members are gigging musicians or in a band or they used to be. And I'm starting to do that with my son. We're going to start gigging in Waco. I'm in Waco, Texas, and
Oh,
we're going to start
brilliant.
doing that. So I really recommend doing that if you don't do it a
Do you know
lot.
what I recommend doing it as well? Because songs that I can play fluently at home by myself, I start to stumble with people watching me,
Sure.
and I don't know why that is. But I think I'm over that now. But to begin with, as soon as anyone starts, you start to build up a crowd behind you.
Uh-huh.
I think this. I think as the pressure gets to you.
It does. It does. And it's something about playing a song for other people. Then when you go back to it, you know it way better just from that one experience of playing it for people. I don't know what it does, but it that one experience playing for people seems to equal 10 practice sessions sometimes.
Yeah,
Just doing that. And it's and all of us make mistakes. And the only difference is someone who's, an advanced player covers it up better. Like I could listen to an Elton John live version solo that everyone just loves, and I could point out 15, 20 mistakes that he makes, but he just covers it up. He just keeps moving. We all make mistakes. And once you realize that even the best players mess up multiple times in every performance, then it kind of takes the pressure off, I think.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
agree. I think there's a skill to learn as well about how to make a mistake and pick back up and keep going.
yeah,
Because a lot of people stop, including myself. I just stop, and then you've ruined the
sure.
whole. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
that
keep
keep going
going.
piece.
Just keep
Yeah,
going. Cover it up. Yes, what was I going to say? The goal is not to play without not making any mistakes. If that's your goal, that's no fun. The goal is to have fun playing the music, and once you get that
yeah.
centered, I think we have a lot more fun all overall. Well, I want to get to these questions here. I need to ask you before we run out of time. It's been great hearing your story here, and I'm going to give you time at the end to ask me anything you want to ask me. Some of the members like to, ask me questions. It could be about anything you want. Doesn't have to be about music. But and you might feel like you've already answered these a little bit, but for the videographers, they want to have it in one little form here at the end.